Okay, so I'm out on a walk. It is a Wednesday. The month of January is almost over. I'm not even sure why I'm doing this, other than earlier I had a thought of, like I've touched upon, that I'm being watched, right? And I believe somebody's in my phone. I mean, I'm no forensic expert, but I can tell when my shit's acting different. And I've gone through all the logical explanations of, I drop my phone. I don't throw it necessarily at the wall or at the floor or anything, but I toss it onto the counter. Like, I'm not gentle with it, right? So I've gone through all the list of possibilities. Like I said previously, I've spoken to people in the field of whatever spyness, whatever that looks like. But I refuse to not believe myself. I refuse to keep pushing it away. It's like, I know what I know. I'm an intuitive spiritual person, and the things that, it's like you just know. And if you're anybody who has been going through something similar, I just want to say that I believe you and I support you. You're not alone. And I haven't been out on a walk in a long time, and I've never recorded something like this while walking. So thank you for coming on the journey with me, I guess. And you're going to hear me be out of breath. Yes, I am a runner and a triathlete who, I haven't yet to complete one. But I haven't been running, which maybe that'll tie into this talk. I was on the phone forever with my bank because I needed to update something, but I kept getting this urge to, and forgive me if I'm not looking at the camera the whole time, but I kind of need to jog because a car is coming. I need to process and walk. But I was on the phone with the bank on hold for a very long time, and I kept getting the urge to talk about how my phone's been compromised. And I don't know how. I'm no forensic scientist. I'm no CIA agent that I know of. Right? I'm just a normal lay person living their life, trying to enjoy life to the fullest and whatever, create shit and, make connections. But my phone's been acting really weird. It's not responding the same. And the things that I've seen going on in the background, somebody's in it, okay? They're seeing everything I do. I spit when I walk, so that's me being me. Take it or leave it. I spit when I'm sitting. I spit when it's a mucus thing. So yeah, I was going to say I'm going to be very out of breath because I did smoke some weed last night. I did have the heat on, and that combination really messes with my breathing. And I haven't been walking. I haven't been running. So this all ties to being stalked. That's what's going on. And I never in my life did I think I would say those words coming out of my mouth. And there's a lot I know. There's a lot I don't know. Like, do I even want to know? I think, yeah, to the extent in which things are being done, it blows my mind, truly. Like, I really don't feel like I'm that interesting, and I don't know why it's being done. Thank God for TikTok, right? Because people share their experience, strength, and hope there. Like, I literally just saw a couple TikToks this morning about something similar. So it's nice to feel like I'm not alone. So if I'm not alone and I post my experience, strength, and hope, my God, you know, staying silent, I'm not going to do it anymore. And maybe that's what people want. I was like, fuck that. I spent my whole life being silent. And that's one reason why I love to process, because it's like I've been pushed down for so long, right? I got to take this jacket off. It's pretty warm. So I'm trying to see where, like, I'll just talk to you like this and take my jacket off, and that'll be that. So I've been silenced for too long, and it's really weird that something like this is happening to me. Like I said, I don't understand it. I don't know why it's happening, but I know it's happening because I'm not gonna say exactly what's going on. I don't want to get into that much detail right now. But let me tell you, if you think you're being watched, you probably are. You probably have good reason to believe that, right? And that's my case. And the things that I've been seeing happen with my phone, it's not, now it's cold. It's not that I dropped it. It's not that it's fucked up or some software glitch. I've seen enough to know that somebody is in my phone. So what do you do with that? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? It's scary. And as I've said before in my videos, I'm newly divorced, living alone in this most amazing house that my surrounding area is completely compromised. And I think that's one reason why I haven't been running, because when you know people are watching you, it's just fucking weird. And you don't know what somebody's motives, why? Like, you know, TikTok, they say people are jealous and people hate people and this and that, and that's why they stalk them, watch them. I'm no fucking psychologist. I don't know why people do what they do. I mean, I'm only responsible for myself and why I do what I do. But when you have outside forces, and I feel like a fucking nut job saying this, right? Like, oh my God, people are following me. They're in my phone. They're spying on me. They're this. I'm of sound mind and body. I was married to a mental health therapist. Like, I'm aware of shit. I've done years of therapy, deep trauma work. I've healed. I was sober for 14 years. People are going to say, well, I don't know what the fuck people are going to say, but in my mind, I'm like, well, maybe that's why you're having these thoughts and feelings, because you're, you know, I don't drink to get drunk. I don't get high to get high. It's like, well, then why do you do it? Well, because I can. Kind of just boils down to that. We're going to get back to the whole phone thing in a minute, but it's because I can, because for so long I wasn't myself. And no, I don't have to drink or smoke marijuana to be myself. Excuse me. But when you live in an environment that you didn't know was like really pushing you down and weighing you down, and you have the opportunity to experience true freedom, and this is not to put my ex in any bad light, nothing to do with them. This is all about me. When you realize the environment that you were in was creating, I wasn't able to grow for some reason. I don't know. I keep analyzing it. I keep coming up and processing. And it's ironic that I am processing it more now, 5-ish, almost 6 months after I said I want a divorce. We'll just leave it at that. I don't need to get into detail about what was said, how it was said. That was the gist of it. Sorry for the shaky camera. I am trying something new. So either it's going to work or it's not. I just knew I couldn't stay stuck in the house. And that comes back to what I've been going through. So when you know people are watching you to the degree that I'm being watched, and there's proof, okay? So when this happens, it really, if I was not in a healthy headspace, I might even be dead by somebody else's hands or my own hands. I don't know. But when you go through such intense healing, I don't know. I see things differently. because going through all my trauma work allowed me to have this space to hold emotion, to hold self. And going through my divorce and all the other shit that I've been going through for the past 5-ish months has been very character building. Very, I don't think I wanted to go this way, honestly, but I'll find a workaround. It's been a lot, and it's by the grace of God and my faith in a higher power. It's me and it's God, and I trust me and I trust God. And I will always say that I'm very spiritual, has nothing to do with religion, and it's no disrespect to anyone who identifies in religion. This is how I view life. It's my story. And a leaf just fell from the tree. It's the little things. Like, seriously, it really is the little things. So, I don't care if you're somebody who's at the very start of your spiritual journey, your life journey, your awakening. I mean, label it whatever you want, right? Ascension, awakening, I don't know. I've been blessed with a knowing, an intuition, a guidance from birth. I've been blessed with the most imperfectly perfect, trauma and filled, happy filled life. So it's like, thank God I have the foundation I have, because I fucking shit you not, I might be not standing here today. The level of, I don't even know what to call it. I've never experienced it before. The amount of people, I call it backdoor commenting and sideways commenting, where they take jabs. Taking jabs, I guess, and I don't know. Trying to get I don't know what the whole purpose of it is, but I've never experienced it to the degree in which I currently am, and I certainly never expected to experience it myself. So I say to anybody who is being attacked mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all the above, hang in there, build your foundation, get a good support team, therapist, get a great therapist. I've been blessed that I had done all the work. I do have a therapist. I could call her at any moment. But the active therapy work, I can't say I'm beyond it, because we're never done working on ourselves, right? I hope not. But going through this and knowing that people are in my phone, they're seeing what I'm seeing. I'm in a fishbowl, okay? Like, I fucking kid you not. And I don't know how far it extends. I mean, I don't want to sound like a psychotic person, but I mean, technically, like, they could be anywhere, right? That's what I don't know. If they're in my phone, they're in my phone, and then they're seeing shit. So it's given me this level of, I don't give a flying fuck. It's like, fuck you. I honestly don't give a fuck. Which is wildly liberating in a lot of ways. But also, gosh, what's like one of my, it's weird. I gotta fix my hair. So, I'd rather not wear the hat, but the sun, in my eye, I don't like squinting. I gotta put the phone down, which, sorry, but look at the beautiful sky, right? We're gonna go back this way. So, That's my whole thing. What do you do? Because I've reached out to private investigator. I don't care. I'm not keeping quiet. I'm going to share my experience because maybe that's what they want me to do. They want me to go crazy and be quiet. And it's like, fuck you. You know what you're doing. I'm just trying to live my life and process grief after losing my brother in 2020. I mean, that grief comes up a lot, especially as of late. My marriage, yes, it ended very quickly. But I'm realizing through these talking sessions that I'm still processing a lot of who I was, a lot of who I wasn't in the marriage. What did I offer? What did I not offer? What did I fuck up? What did I do right? Just looking at it from a perspective of self, which is it's an incredible tool. So in the phone, around my area, and it's like, I don't feel like I have anyone I can really go to fix the problem. And I don't even know if I'm supposed to fix the problem, because at the same time, this is really building my sense of self in ways that I didn't even know were possible. So it's the double-edged sword, right? I mean, with chaos and conflict comes hopefully the greatest of rewards, right? I mean, that's kind of like what I'm getting is every time they do whatever it is they do, I don't need to get into detail right now. But when they do that, it's like a level up for me. And that's not to slap anyone in the face. Like, good for you for trying to take down somebody's life. I mean, if that's really what you're about, then that's what you're supposed to be about. We all have good, we all have dark, we all have light, we all have shit, places we've been, places, growing up, trauma. So, it ties back into the spirituality and the duality, seeing the 3D, the 5D, and understanding things to a level where I can see all of it and still hold compassion and love for these people. Which pisses me, excuse me, maybe I'm not supposed to say this, but fuck that. Excuse me. But that pisses me off sometimes. Because, don't think for 1 second because I'm all, trauma work and healed and love and light and happiness and fucking rainbows and unicorns. Don't think that I can't be just as much of an asshole as the next person. Holy shit. I can be a bitch. I mean, can't we all? But I think I choose not to be, which is a positive place to be, at least for me. And as I'm walking, it's like people can hear me, and it's like, I am curious, like, what do people think? Like, oh, she's doing this and this, and like, what is she talking about? And like, that sounds weird. Oh, okay, so there's a little residual of clearing I need to do perhaps, but I made a mile. Yay, winning at life today. So it's, what do you do when people are invading you to such a degree that you don't feel like you have any protection other than divine? Because, I mean, there are protections, okay, but I spoke about this the other day. It's like, I feel like when I tell people shit, it's like, I feel like I'm sounding like a crazy person. Like, because the shit that has happened, I swear to God, I cannot make it up. I truly don't think I can. And I'm a very imaginative, creative person. So, yeah, I can make up a lot of shit, and it's just wild, and it's completely beyond me. So this is me processing that. It's like, what do you do? The professionals have told me what I need to do. I mean, I've been doing what I am supposed to do, what I need to do. But another reason why I think I'm talking about this so openly, and I don't give a fuck, like, because I couldn't find a lot of resources, right? So how are they watching me? I don't know how they're watching me. They're in my phone, I know that. But how are they watching me? I don't know. So To do this thing, it's this much money. To do that thing, it's that much money. To do this, it's that. And it's like, but nobody has, I don't feel like I've gotten a complete package answer, okay? That's the best way I could put it. Kind of piecemealing shit, right? And some of the people I have gone to for help, not very helpful. Some people I've gone to, helpful. And that is an interesting, I think that's it looks like a weird lemon tree. Oh my God, like, can I show you this lemon? I don't know how to, I don't know what that button does, so I guess I'm not going to show you the weird lemon, but it looked like almost like a cow's udder. I mean, not so like long, but it was like, whatever. That was an interesting moment of the day. So, interesting analogy too. Rolling. And that's how like this shit unfolds, right? I just kind of move from one thing to the next, but hopefully it all ties in. What I do know is that I'm standing strong in my power. Like I said, it's not been easy. Because when you have people constantly in your energy attacking you in different ways, it's a lot. But I'm powerful in a lot of ways, and many I don't even know. So, I think that's one of the reasons why I haven't been running. Aside from the fact that, excuse me, as I pick my teeth, I pick my nose too. And I probably pick my wedgies. It's like, it's all the shit we do, like in our private home, which these people have seen. So, that brings me to this point, because if they didn't do what they've done and what they're still doing, I wouldn't have made these podcast, YouTube, whatever the fuck I'm doing things. Like, I don't even know why I'm doing this, but I started, like I said, I started talking out loud to process. And, you know, I started, like, obviously in the privacy of my own home, where things should indeed be private, whether I'm picking my nose, my ass, or masturbating. Like, that's all private, right? Maybe not. So, speaking into a screen and talking out loud in my private home, I just don't give a fuck. There's nothing that anyone, I think, can do to me personally that I haven't already done to myself. I mean, I'm trying to think, really. I mean, self-hate, check, did that one a lot. Shame, guilt, embarrassment, like, I don't know. I'm just a different person, and incredibly grateful to be able to hold space for myself and for others and share this experience. Because it's really, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's fucked up. It's fucked up, and I don't know the reasoning why. I keep saying I'm not that fascinating, but maybe I am. Maybe I am fascinating to other people, and that's cool. I'm down for that. Like, I'm down to share, like I said, my experience, strength, and hope. Like, how did I get from point A to point B? I mean, if that's what they're really after, I don't know the motive, and I guess that's the scary thing, because how far will it go? Well, I'll tell you right now, I don't think there's an end to it. Meaning, how far will it go? It could go all the way, and that, I don't know what that would look like for them. I mean, I know my definition of that, and why anyone would want to constantly beat somebody who, my God, I went through a divorce, right? I was very vulnerable, healing not only wounds from that, even though it was an incredibly positive, happy time for me, it was still incredibly painful. Like, I held at each end of the spectrum. I have been holding emotions, right? Because ending any kind of relationship is difficult. But even though I did it completely for myself, out of self-love and knowing that I needed and wanted better, and she couldn't come with me, and that was okay. It's still a loss. It's still a loss. And like I've said before, I cried on the beach that night when I said I wanted to split. Like, I cried like I lost my brother, because it's that kind of grief. So even though the months have been great and all this self-discovery, and I don't miss the relationship, and I mean, it sounds cruel. It's like, I really wish she's well, but I don't miss that dynamic, because in the end, it was killing me. And it's not to say anything about the person. It was just the situation and the energy, and it was time to go. I needed this because I needed to break free from that so I could essentially ascend. I mean, spiritual awakening much? Yeah. At least 2 major ones, maybe 4. December was a really rough month. I was really sick, spiritually sick. If you know, you know. Like, in bed, chills, like the flu, essentially. Excuse me. So that was December. I had two of those. I never called out of work sick for over a year. And I did within like 1 month. I called out twice. On top of having everything else happen, right? So, I mean, you talk about building character and strength. These last 5 months have been the most incredible happy and the most incredible fucked up weird shit that I've ever been involved in. So what do you do when you go to people for help and they're not very helpful? I guess that just solidifies that it's me and it's God. And I'm trusting that God's working everything out for my highest and greatest good. And I do know, as I pause to walk up this hill, that I should be able to run up. And that's okay. That I'm at where I'm at. And maybe that is another great message, is just meet yourself where you're at. I used to be running 3 to 4 miles. I mean, my new route was a perfect rounded number of 4.25 miles. So I like loved my route until the whole stalking thing. Like, you know, it's amazing what people try to take away from you, but I won't let them. So what I've done, instead of sitting on my sorry ass being like, oh my God, people are stalking me and they're like doing all this weird shit and I don't know what to do. It's like, no, you turn that into a spiritual experience and you fucking ascend that shit and transmute it, alchemize it. And that's what I've been doing. It's not to be braggadocious in any way. It's just sharing what I've been doing. And that I'm so grateful that I get to do this, because this is not who I've always been. You know, I do have dark. We all do. And that's where I was saying we all have dark and light. But I refuse to sit back and be like, nobody puts baby in a corner, right? I mean, what a great fucking movie. Okay. And I used to pretend that I was her. Okay. And we would try to do the lifts and all that. And I didn't break any bones, but we never did get that lift thing done. So, haven't been running. And I think some of it has been because of what's been going on. You know, I think when you're in these heightened senses, that it could go one of 2 ways. That you're completely aware of your surroundings and more heightened in that sense. So you kind of notice things and are aware, and then you add intuition and spirituality. I mean, things could get really trippy real quick and really fuck with your head. So having somebody to discuss with, whether that's a close friend, therapist, somebody who can hold space without judgment. Because some of the shit that I tell my best friend, if she wasn't on the same wavelength and frequency, she might be calling the cops and be like, this girl is unwell. People who hear me speak in my apartment, what the fuck are you doing listening? That's on you. I'm gonna still speak about the weird shit that's going on. I'm gonna process my trauma, whether it's from yesterday, last week, a year ago, how old am I? You know, from when I was a baby. Like, anything that anyone does outside of me is completely on them. So that's where I'm learning. Like, if I want to be in my house and I want to, like, masturbate on the couch and there's cameras or somebody watching, have fun. If I want to be in my bedroom and speak about weird shit, have fun. Like, that's on you. Like, if I hear somebody in a private setting speak about things, like, the type of person I am is, like, I tune it out. I switch course. Like, it's not for me to, like, eavesdrop. That's just who I am, though. Some people maybe get off on that. I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know where it's coming from other than people are in my phone. I just had an imagery of, like, these little tiny fucking people, like, in my phone, like, spying. That's hilarious, dude. So I guess I'm just saying all this because it's scary. And when you don't know certain things, it's scarier. But at the same time, it's like I'm owning myself. It really rocks me that people, I've never seen such, I don't even know if I want to say the word evil, not evil. I don't know what to label it as. Maybe a professional who's seen this behavior has a label for it. I mean, I'm not great with labels. I'd rather just be this, like, skinless spirit, like, flying around the universe. I'll never forget, I told that to my therapist, like, I just want to be a ball of light floating through the air. I mean, essentially, we're just energy, right? But she would remind me that's not living in your body. We come to Earth to experience. Well, I'm experiencing a lot. A lot. And there's a person walking, so yeah, she's got a pretty bluish sweater thing on. So aside from the fact of the little people in the phone, and the other things going on, like, how do you navigate that? Right? And that's what I'm doing. I'm navigating to the best of my ability with the resources I have and had and will have. I feel like more people are going through this than I can even imagine because wow, because I mean, the things I see on TikTok, there's a lot of people talking about shit like this, and they label it, I'm starting to sweat a little bit, they label it like narcissistic, and I don't even really know what that means, but I can't label it because I don't know what to identify the behavior, but it's just, you know, or I know, I don't know what other people fucking know, okay? I know when energy is off. I know when people, I can't even put it into words, so I'm just gonna leave it alone for now, okay? But you know when you're being fucked with. I think most people would, right? I don't know. That's the thing, I'm not most people, so that's why I'm doing this. Like, fuck, I'm going through this alone, dude. Like, alone for most part of it. And I do have a support system. There are people that know, but can anyone really feel what we go through? And that's what's kind of, like, interesting about being an individual, right? And feeling feelings. Can anybody truly ever know, like, how we feel? And this all ties back. I always love to tie things back to sense of self, because that's what this is doing for me. My divorce, my journey of life, this shit show that can't even identify what the fuck to call it other than vampires, which I love vampires. So I don't want to even use that. But vampires like slowly trying to like stab somebody or kill somebody. It's weird. It's just fucking weird. If you like me and admire me, come tell me. If you want to ask me anything, come ask me. I guess if you want to hate on me, I guess you're hating on me. But like, why? Like, I'm just trying to live my life and do shit that I enjoy. And it's interesting though, when you stand up for yourself after people like keep throwing shit at you and you stand up for yourself, it's amazing how quick those tables will turn. Even worse. But you know what? I don't regret it, because if I didn't stand up for myself, it would still be happening. And I'd still be in a state of fucking confusion of like, what do I do? Well, it's like, fuck that. You stand up for yourself and you own your power. That's what you do. So to anyone who is dealing with shit, regardless if it's stalking or anything else, own your voice. Find it, even if it's a fucking whisper, even if you open your mouth and nothing comes out. Singing has been very helpful for me. I love music. Music is life. There's a lot of life things. Music is one of them. But singing has helped me to really open up the throat chakra. And I love singing. That's what I wanted to do when I was a kid. And now I'm fucking doing it. Like, unraveling who I am in a completely imperfect way. And having this experience with these people, like seeing things that, I mean, they shouldn't really be seeing in the privacy of my own fucking home. So like I said, that's on them. But knowing that they're watching, it's like I have an audience. So it's weird, it's cool, it's fucking creepy. So I use them because, and I reference Taylor Swift a lot because Taylor went through some shit in the media. I don't remember what happened. But she had to go away and come back, you know? And so I use Taylor as a reference because look how amazing she is. A positive person, good vibes, amazing songwriter, lyricist. Like, I think the best in the world. Prove me wrong. I mean, there's a lot of great writers in the world, but I think she's at the top. So if she can get through shit, I know I can. I know I'm strong. So I've been using this whole experience as a means of performing, as a means of getting over being vulnerable, right? Even though it's not face to face with and sharing in a capacity that I am okay with. I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing it for anybody else but me. I'm dancing more. As a kid, like, didn't we all like take dance and shit like that? So a couple times in my life as a smaller kid and as an adolescent, I took dance and I loved that shit, but there was always something holding me back. And I think it was confidence. I mean, I'm not really sure. Confidence and a sense of self. Sense of self I didn't get until, who the fuck knows? I mean, that's a whole nother subject. But everything is really tying back to self and how we don't know ourselves. Like, I'm my own best friend. I'm my own lover. I'm my own everything right now. And it's truly the best I've ever been in my life. And I know there's a reason I'm going through what I'm going through. Not to say it's easy, because it's been being preyed upon by several people all at once is life-changing. Unbelievably life-changing. But I choose to see the positive. And that's how I've seen things my entire life. I mean, sure, I get negative just like everybody else does. But I choose to see the positive. This is like, what is this showing me? Like, we're all mirrors, right? Reflectiveness for each other to heal wounds. So what are these people trying to show me? Like, I know particular people are more of a mirror, more of a connection spiritually than others, which are the greatest loves of my life. So it's like, in the 3D world, you treat me like shit, but ultimately you're the greatest love of my life, the greatest adventure of my life in multiple capacities. So it's very complex. And I would love to communicate with other people who maybe share this sense of spirituality and have gone through, it doesn't have to be stalking, but have gone through some like fucking life-changing shit where you're like living in this 3D world. It's duality. I mean, we all have the ability to do it, right? But now, see, there's whole talk about the 3D, the 5D split. There's a lot of fucking energy shit going on. And I tell you what, it's... If I didn't have the foundation, I've said it, if I didn't have the foundation I have, I would not be here. I would have had some kind of psychotic break, which I wonder if that's what they're hoping for. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty fucking out there as it is. I think outside of the box. I mean, I think I do. I don't want to be just like everybody else. I mean, I spent my whole life trying to get people to understand me. Like, why doesn't anyone get me? It's like, wait a minute, they don't fucking have to. Maybe I don't even want them to. Of course I do. Of course I want people to connect with and understand and grow with and level up with. Like, sorry, the phone's all bouncy, but of course I want that connection. That's what I crave, is a connection with somebody. I mean, not just somebody, but people where same like-mindedness and level up and just help each other nurture, grow, and have positive experiences. But then you see the other flip side where these people are giving me the most incredibly difficult moments that I think I've had. I can't say in my lifetime, but in a very, very long time. But I see the good in it. So it's like, it's not like all bad, right? It's not all bad at all. So I get very conflicted when processing this information because I see it from a higher level. And that's not to be, like I say, it's not to be arrogant or cocky. It's just, I just know who I am. And every day I think I'm uncovering that more. I know who I am. I know where I've been. I know who I don't want to be. I know who I hope to be and what values I hope to bring to the world and to people. Here comes the garbage people. Okay. So we'll keep moving this way. I know who I want to be. I know who I'm not yet being. Maybe. Do I know that? Maybe, I guess. But at the same time, I'm not going to take shit anymore. So this is why the fuck I'm speaking out, because you're not going to keep me quiet. You're not. And if you want to watch me in my own home, on my own phone, I don't know what the fuck you're looking for. I would gladly tell you any fucking thing you want to know. Come ask me. Let's have a conversation. Like, I just, I don't know. It's just weird. And I just wanted to share my experience because I do feel alone sometimes in it. And I've repeated this more than probably twice, is I have supports. I have people I can talk to about this. But who's with me when I'm alone at night in bed? It's me and it's God. And it's trusting a process, having blind faith. The amount of times I've had blind faith in my life, I can't even count. And it's like, I don't know. It's something I was born with. Because I did go to, I'm like, I keep thinking it's not religion. Like when I hear religion, especially, like when I was first getting sober, and I'm like, oh God, it's been a minute and I'm not sober anymore by choice. So when I would hear people talk about God, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like religion, it had such a negative connotation that it took me getting sober to kind of really reconnect with my relationship with Source. And sobriety gave me a lot of cool shit, right? I mean, because when you put substances in your body and you tell yourself every day how much you fucking hate yourself, but you don't want to die, it's like, I mean, if you know, you know, and like we can have that conversation another time for sure. But But it's coming out of those depths and re-emerging and rediscovering. All I have ever wanted to know, like, was why was I the way I was? I don't know. That was from a very, I don't know if I could say very young age, but especially in my adolescent years. Like all those quizzes in the magazines, girls like my age, maybe they still have them, I don't know. But you know what I'm talking about. And like, circle this one here. Like, this is going to tell you your personality. Like those things at the fairgrounds, the personality shit. Oh my God, I was into all that. Like, who was I, right? Who was I? I was never taught how to understand who I was. And that's not a dig at my immediate family or, people surrounding me when I was growing up. I just don't, it's more today in these times, I think self-awareness is more prevalent. It's more out in the open, right? Without, speaking about my family so much, but it's like, I wasn't modeled that behavior. Self-love, what does that mean? For me, I had 2 breakfasts. That's self-love, listening to my body, because my stomach was hungry, and I'm like, I ate, I don't know, like, I think I ate an hour and a half prior to, right? And my stomach was hungry like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours later, and I'm like, why are you hungry? You shouldn't be hungry, I already ate. And I said, well, like, your body's talking to you. Like, listen to it, honor. So that's what self-love to me is. It's just listening to those little cues and honoring self. And every time I do that, it's like just a little warm hug. It's so incredible. I had closed myself off for so long. And then I did that again in my marriage. And I didn't even know I was doing it. I don't know what the purpose of it was. I'm sure in time things will be revealed, because they always are. Always. I mean, one time I got an answer 30 years later. It was about a piggy bank. I'll share that with you, and then I'm going to go. So my gram had this plastic. It was like a penny head, right? And it was shaped like a penny. And then it had a base on it, right? So it could sit on the counter or wherever the fuck you put piggy banks. And so I was maybe 5 to 7-ish, around that age, give or take. When she collected pennies. So I was holding this thing above my head, and I think she said something about dropping it. And of course, that's interesting, because I've been dropping things a lot lately. Okay, so she said something about dropping it, and I dropped it, and I broke it, and I felt terrible. I don't know if it was of significance to her, this penny holder, this piggy bank, right? I don't know if it was significant to her, but I did feel terrible, because she's like, you're gonna drop it, and I fucking dropped it. So I don't remember if through the years I looked for that. I think I did in certain stores and stuff, like the old like vintage stores. I love that shit, especially shit from the 80s. Oh my God, so fun. Smurfs. Anyways, now I'm like stuck on 80s shit. So 30-ish years later, I randomly, I don't know if I searched for it, if it randomly popped up, had an inspired thought about it, I don't recall. I bought it, and I honored my gram that way, and I honored a piece of myself, because that child in me felt terrible for breaking this person's piggy bank. It seems very trivial, but shit like that when you're young, things can impact us, and it's taking those like cool moments and just healing. It's beautiful. So yeah, eventually, like, I didn't keep the piggy bank, right? Because I honored the promise, because I told her then when I was little, I was like, I'll buy you another one. And I think she made mention that like they don't make them anymore. It was something like that my child brain it held on to, because it was like, uh-oh, like, can't get that anymore. So when I found it, I was like totally all about it. And I didn't keep it forever, because I honored the promise, and I honored myself, and I honored her. And eventually I did get rid of it, I think when I was like moving at one point or something like that. But yeah, so everything somehow always comes back to self. But like, I will talk a lot about, like, I didn't get that when I was growing up. Like, what does that mean? So I'm curious to know, like, from other people, like, what is your sense of self? Like, what do you do to honor yourself? Do you know what that looks like? Are you willing to explore it? I'm enjoying that freedom. So I thank you for listening. And I'm going to try not to be too consumed with people watching me. But I think the more that I do this and speak about it, it's very helpful. And I mean, I would encourage anybody who feels like they're in complete danger, please contact the proper authorities. Am I in danger? I honestly don't know. I don't know. I do know I'm being watched. And with that, I wish you a delightful day. Do something magical. There's magic in everything, no matter what the fuck is happening. Peace and love always.